lovelies. Hello, family. This is Kimberly Purpoz, and welcome to my channel. Today, I wanted to do an interesting video about the Black Mexicans, American Aboriginal Mexicans. I did not want to put the camera on today. I didn't feel like I couldn't get the lighting perfect, so I decided to just have one of my thumbnails up for you guys today. So, yeah. But in this particular video, I saw this article under the Huffington Post, Latin Voices, and it was published on January 2016. It says Mexico finally recognizes its citizens, its copper-colored citizens, but that's just the beginning. In Mexico, like everywhere, identity is complex. And this is by Karika Veragu. All right, I'm going to scroll down. Here's a interesting picture of the Afro Mexicans, and these are musicians in Guerrero, and they are in that particular area is one of the biggest Black populations, copper-colored populations in Mexico, Aboriginal. And here they are. These are the Aboriginal Mexicans, the original people, right here. But let's scroll down. This article, let's see, I believe it's sort of lengthy. Let's see how long it is. I might be able to get this done, and we may be able to get through this article. Yeah, we should. Let's see, it says here, last month, for the first time ever, the Mexican government recognized its 1.38 million citizens of African descent in a national survey. The survey served as a preliminary count before 2020 national census, where Aboriginals will debut as an official category. So I saw this, and I sort of don't think this is a good idea. I'm not sure if it's a good idea. I'm not sure where they're coming from with this labeling. It's like they're creating more of a labeling system like they have in the U.S. and the United States. And I believe that the labeling system is set up for gray supremacy to benefit only the Caucasians or people who are color skin complexion or pale hue, and it's a way to mistreat the indigenous originals and have them suppressed in a society where originally the land and the culture, everything that's there in the Americas was originally there for them, but it was stolen during colonialization, and that's why things have totally changed. And it looks like they're trying to put more emphasis on this labeling system to differentiate, try to put all the darker complexion people, the originals, into a set system that sort of deprives them of their indigenous rights and heritage. So I'm going to read this article, but I've just noticed that globally, that labeling system of being called Black is a way of stripping the original people from their indigenous heritage and rights to their own homeland, and a way to put gray supremacy on top and allow paler people to reap the benefits of gray supremacy. So let's continue to the next paragraph. It says, a major force between the government's recognition were Mexico Negro, an activist group founded in 1997 by Sergio Perez, a school teacher of African descent. Mexico Negro works, among other initiatives, the constitutional recognition of Afro-Mexicans and to increase the visibility of Afro-Mexican culture. And I think this is great. They're finally doing this, and it's finally being recognized. Oftentimes, Negroes are overlooked and are cast aside, and you very rarely see them in the media. And it's like that in the United States. You see it in Canada, and you see it also in South America. So it's not something new. It's like you don't see the original people very often. And if you didn't know any better, you would think they don't exist. But now with more exposure with the internet, more and more original people are being recognized, and it's more is the having more technology such as the internet allows the originals, Aborigines, to the indigenous people to share their history, their knowledge, and their experiences on social media. So now we finally have a voice. And it says here the Huffington Post recently caught up with Penosa to discuss his organization, why recognition matters, and what's next for Afro-Mexicans. Okay, that'll be interesting to find out. We're going to stroll on down. It says Aboriginal Mexicans Agenda. We have been working for 20 years without much government response to the events in the past year, which has been a huge progress for us. Penosa told the Huffington Post on the phone from his home in Guerrero. And it says Guerrero is one of the major Pueblos Negros, or Aboriginal towns of Mexico. It is also at the center of Costa Chica, the southwestern states of Guerrero and Osaka, which the Afro-Mexican population is concentrated. The nation's capital has a smaller Aboriginal population than you think. So from a distance, Mexican Negroes campaign to recognize INEGI, the census agency that did the initial count of Afro-Mexicans, and the National Council of Preventing Discrimination. So I'm glad they're doing something about this. It's, at least they are finally being notated. It's sort of it's really bad to be erased pretty much out of books, out of history, out of population, and be in a society where you are pushed aside and oftentimes overlooked and not even acknowledged. This is a phenomenon that's globally experienced by all the melanated race of people, the Negroes and across the globe. And this is just having an accurate count of who the original indigenous people are is very important. Because if you don't have an accurate count and if you don't keep up with that, it's like you don't exist at all. And I think it's great that they're finally showing, exposing this, showing that the indigenous people are still there. History books oftentimes make it seem like the indigenous people have all died out. They also portray this paler version of what the indigenous people look like throughout history, where nationality, original people were darker complexion or darker hue. With Afros, they were not the straight-haired Mongoloids that they often show, nor were they the Europeans that they try to show as being the original. I like this picture right here. I really do. It says here, Mexico Negro. It says de los Pueblos Negros. But here they are in their indigenous outfits, which I think is great. I'm glad that they're tapping back into their indigenous heritage. I'm not sure about Mexico, but I know here in the United States, we have been so brainwashed and indoctrinated in the school system that we didn't even realize that we are the natives, we are the Indians, we are the indigenous Aborigines that are oftentimes mentioned in the history books. The history books been so brainwashed with the peeling of the skin and with the tribes being taken over by gray Caucasian with grays, and with the mixed people. Very few mixed, and it was mostly mixed and Europeans, and also a few of the Mongoloids, and none of the original Aboriginals. So, and when you see the grey washing taking place and you're hearing all these false tales and false narratives that was always created and printed and publicized by Greys only, you start to believe these lies and think that it's true that you don't have a history. But when actuality, you look further and dig further and you look more and to do more research, you find out that is not true, that we do all have a history. And it's important that we reconnect to our Indigenous heritage, because when you reconnect to your Indigenous heritage, you reconnect to yourself, and you have a purpose, you tap into spirituality, you have an identity, you have a culture, you have a heritage. And what it does is it empowers you and bring positive energy and flow towards you, and gives you the confidence and the belief, the courage to stand up for what is right for you and your people. And that's what's missing. And now I believe that we're finally connecting, and I think it's awesome. It says here, the dance of the devils. I'm not sure if that's good, but we'll see. It's La Danza de los Diablos. It's a dance performed by Afro-Mexicans in Costa Rica. I'm not sure what this is all about, but it'd be interesting to find out. I may do some more research to find out about this dance of the devils. I'm not sure. I know they have the celebration of the dead during I believe it's Halloween or something like that. And I thought it was negative and creepy, but when I researched it further, it's a celebration of the ancestors. So I don't know what this is about, but I'm going to research it, you guys, and find out more. That'll be interesting to find out. And if you're from Mexico and you're an Aboriginal or original Mexican who's melanated, please leave a comment below. I would love to hear from the Afro-Mexicans in Mexico about your history and culture and what tribe you're from. But it says here, Reynoso told HuffPost that Conopred actions were overdue, especially given the UN's announcements to focus on the rights of people of African descent. But committed officials in both agencies have bypassed institution sensitivity to support the Afro-Mexican national movement, he said. So they look like they bypassed and they don't have no interest in supporting them. Both agencies have bypassed institution, and so it's like they're not acknowledging them. And then I did a video about the UN, because the UN is ran by the top countries in the world. I believe it's ran by 4 or 5 major continents. The United States is one of them. The big leagues, the ones that have global power over the earth and pretty much running things and hoarding the money and the resources. They're the ones who are on the UN. And I was with some of the viewers that I have on my channel, pointed out, I think it was Ponytail Locks. She mentioned how it may be a concern of the UN, what their ulterior motives is with these tribes. And now I'm starting to see it too. What are the ulterior motives of being recognized through the UN, and is it really a good benefit to be recognized as a tribe through the UN? Because to me, I don't know if it's good, because it sounds like they're doing the same thing that the actual government is doing. It's just not recognizing these people and trying to find ways to suppress them and not let them have access to their own land and resources. That's what I see. But I don't know. Put in a comment what you all think. That's just a theory. And it says Brisa Solis, Conopred's communication director, said it's a main goal in 2016 to translate the results of INEGI census survey into better race-related public policies in November. INEGI sought representation from melanated and indigenous communities to help inform the policy decisions and acknowledge that racial discrimination persists in our country against Aboriginals, the original people. And it's true, just like what's going on here in the United States is also going down in South America, in Mexico as well. Similar instance and lack of recognition, and oftentimes they try to suppress this by not acknowledging the population size. We do have some people here in this country, especially in the United States, and I'm pretty sure it's the people melanated race in Mexico as well. But if you're underrepresented and if they don't even count your population at all, that means that you get less of everything, money, resources, and everything, and it's based on these numbers, and that's why oftentimes the grays try to influence that number, or I say add more numbers to their population to justify the disproportionate number of resources that are spread among the people, the citizens. So and I explained that in another video. Y'all can check out some more videos. I talk about that even further and explain how the reason why population size is so important and why the Caucasians want their population even higher, and how they just add on other ethnic groups to make it look like they're more than them, when actuality is not true. They're actually a small amount. They just want to use that as an excuse to hoard resources for themselves, even though they are not part of the same ethnic group that they're including within their population. And then it says here, why has it taken so long? And I guess down here they go into detail as to why it took so long for them to get to this point of acknowledging the melanated race in Mexico, the original people, and the copper-colored race. And it goes into detail and explain the history behind all of this. I'm going to scroll down. It just talks about the Mexican post-revolutionary government, and then they go over the Mexico's 1917 Constitution, which is called the multicultural composition, and that's when it was starting to break down the population and the different ethnic groups within Mexico. We're going to scroll down, and there's more information from Peñalosa, going into detail about the Mexican Negro strategies and how they're going to be recognized, in other words. And I'm going to stroll on down. Let's see here. And it says, and then this one, I'm sorry, I skipped a picture here. Let's get on down here. I believe this is Sergio Peñalosa right here in the middle. I believe the guy in he's the activist. He's the one with the microphone. I guess he was at one of the meetings that they had about a recognition of the Negroes in Mexico, and that was taken in 2015. And we're going to scroll down. And then it says, what's next for Afro-Mexican? It says here, we couldn't seriously push our socio-economic agenda when we not even officially recognized as a group, said Peñalosa, but he can set their sight higher in 2016. So he just goes on to say what they're doing, what they're planning for the future, and how they're going to go about it. And then we're going to get to the bottom here. It says here, darkness is seen as negative, Ramos said, and Afro-Mexican youths have no icons. It seems like their only option are to immigrate or be delinquents. But that can change. I am very hopeful. So I believe this is the conclusion. These are pictures right here of the Afro-Mexicans, the original people, American Aborigines of Mexico. And these are them right here in this picture. I think this is a beautiful picture. I love it. You see the diversity and the different skin tones of the American Aboriginal Mexicans right here in this photo. But I would love to see what you all think of this video. What do you think about the Afro, about the Afro Mexicans having their own category, them being recognized finally in the population side? Do you think it's beneficial? Do you think it'll help with race relations, or do you think it's a good thing? Me, I think it's good that they're getting population size. I think that's extremely important. I think it's great that they get recognition. But the only thing I have concern is that they're still following the human labeling system, which I feel like is a misnomer about identifying and classifying the original people as Black when we're not Black, we're not a crayon. I believe that it's a way of still having a form of indoctrination and putting oppressing the original people as they always have. And I'd be concerned is they're going to be passing similar laws like they do in the U.S. down in Mexico, similar action where they graywash everything. They already are, because they don't even acknowledge them. But I guess having some acknowledgement is great, but still, it's still the same thing, But anyway, I'm not sure about Mexico. I have to do some research about their laws and stuff. I'm not sure about their particular laws and see if it's as extreme as it is here in the United States. But that would be something interesting to know. But please like this video. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell. And don't forget to visit my websites, my blogs. And I have a GoFundMe, Patreon, and a PayPal. And don't forget to check those out and donate if you can. And until next time, peace and love, family. Until next time, peace. Bye-bye.